days out with flat car riders and cross-tie walkers. Oh, courted June, I took me over. Said, son, you gonna find the world is smoldering. If you get lost, come on home to Green River. Yeah. I said, take me back down where cool water flows out. Living remember things I love, y'all. Stopping at the law where catfish by, walking along down River Road at night. Barefoot girl dancing in the moonlight. Good. Down on Green River. I think there's a couple of alligators down there.
It is good to be back with iGold. How many of you have been here before? Okay, who are the newbies? All right, God bless you. Our ranks are growing. Here, I'm from Pontiac, Illinois, small town. A lot of you from small towns. But I want to give a special attention and thank you for the men and women from the city of Chicago that came here to be with us on Gun Lobby Day. Thank you. And what I can tell you, keep the faith. Keep the faith. I was a member of the State House of Representatives, and only one time during that entire tenure in the House did I have a chance to vote for concealed carry, and I voted yes. I was a member of the Illinois State Senate, and they never once allowed the vote on any of the committees I was in, but if they had, I'd have voted yes. And now, and I'm not going to be partisan because I know there's a lot of donkeys in this room, you Democrat friends of ours. I'm a Republican, I'm proud of it. And the state finally put a couple of Republicans on the statewide stage. And when I became the treasurer, I've got myself a bully pulpit and a microphone, and of course the economics and fiscal and financial is the most important thing I can do. But as the treasurer of the state of Illinois, when the television cameras come up, the newspaper reporters and the radio, and they of course want to see what the statewide officers got to say about concealed carry, I tell them, let's be real clear. And I think all of us, as we start to lobby and talk about it, we need to be very clear. We are talking about background checked, we are talking about trained, and we are talking about licensed. The State Treasurer, Dan Rutherford, affirms he is for concealed carry here in the state of Illinois. Somebody asked me a little bit ago, how long will it take? We're the 50th state, how long will it take? And I said, I don't know, but the Constitution of the United States has been here an awfully long time, and that Second Amendment's been in there an awfully long time. Keep working it. Thank you for being in the capital city. We're going to bring it around someday soon. And God bless you all, and God bless America. Thanks a lot. Take care. Thank you. Oh, you know what? Here, I'm going to say one more thing. I got to say one more thing. I am also responsible for unclaimed property that comes in from lockboxes and the like. And in unclaimed property, we have, you've got a copy of it there? Okay, we've got our cash stash going out there. But I will tell you that the State Rifle Association donated gun locks for us to be able to put in the guns that we have in the safe of the state treasurer. My predecessor treasurer had issued the order that the guns would be destroyed if not claimed within 1 year. I have changed that order. Thank you to the State Rifle Association for the donation of the gun locks, which are being put on by our staff right now. I've changed the executive order that nothing will be destroyed, if at all, minimum 5 years. Have a good day.
We've got some mines that change in this state, and the majority of the mines that need to get changed are in the Chicago, Cook County area. Some of that knowledge or lack of knowledge about what happens when people are allowed to carry concealed firearms to protect themselves and their families spills out into the collar counties. For the most part, when you get west of Route 47 or you get south of Interstate 80, our issue isn't a partisan issue, it's a geographic issue. We need to somehow convince the people in Chicago that it's not the end of the world if their neighbor is allowed to carry a firearm to protect themselves and their family. 49 other states in the United States allow people to carry concealed firearms. A lot of those states also allow people to carry open firearms. Illinois allows neither. When I came on as president 6.5 years ago or so of the ISRA, I asked you, the membership, if we should pursue a litigation aspect in addition to our legislative aspect. The membership was fully supportive of that, and since then we've been involved in a great deal of litigation, not just by us here in Illinois, but a lot of litigation that's going on around the country, and it's moving the ball. It's moving the ball. Right now there's cases before federal courts here in Illinois that could usurp the authority of the Illinois State Legislature as far as concealed carry is concerned. If a decision was to come down from a federal district judge and he was to decide that the UUW statute, the AUUW statute in the state of Illinois was unconstitutional because it allows no bearing of firearms, Illinois could possibly become a constitutional carry state immediately. Now, I've talked to a lot of legislators, and the legislators seem to think that if that happened, the public outcry would be such that they would immediately go into session and they would pass some sort of concealed carry permit system in the state of Illinois, and everything would be right with the world as far as they're concerned. I've tried to explain to a lot of them that, we've been begging for our rights here in Illinois for a long, long time. And if by chance we were to accidentally become a constitutional carry state, I think downstate legislators would have a very hard time going back to their constituents and saying, we now want you to ask permission of your government to carry a firearm to defend yourself and your family. When you're out talking to your legislators today, you need to make that clear to them that we negotiated House Bill 148, the new House Bill number... The new House Bill number today that's on concealed carry, which I should know, but 5745? 45. Good number. All right. Let them know that we negotiated that in good faith. We negotiated with law enforcement. We had negotiated with local municipalities. We negotiated with all of the different facets of people that were involved in politics in the state of Illinois to put together a good bill that we thought was fair and right. It wasn't the perfect bill that we'd have liked. Certainly we'd enjoy constitutional carry better than anything. But if the Illinois was to somehow become a constitutional carry state, a lot of the things that we negotiated in that bill would be off the table. And I think when you go around and you talk to your legislators today, you should remind them that Shepard is still before the federal district court in Illinois. And should we get a decision on that case, like came down in Maryland the other day in the Woolard case, that said that we won't be apologetically coming to them and asking them to restrict our rights further than what they are at that time. If they want to get on the bus and they want to join us and they want to pass a good bill that will provide concealed carry to the people of Illinois, they need to pass the bill that's before them today. Let's go see our legislators. Let's have a good parade down to the Capitol. And thank you very much for coming today.
You uplift myself, all the other lobbyists, and the pro-gun legislators, you have no idea how important you are to those people, because they then have more strength to resist the bad stuff that Chicago is trying to put on us. I was asked the other day by a reporter from the city of Chicago, one of the newspapers up there, will you retreat? And the answer is, we will never retreat. All right? Never. Okay? We're never going to retreat. We're going to keep coming. We've had a very good week here in Springfield. We got 9 bills out of committee yesterday, including the concealed carry bill, a couple preemption bills, and some other minor bills. But all those minor bills go to protect the rights of all of us. So that's very important. For those of you who don't know what the Willard decision was, in Maryland, which is about as anti-gun as you can get, they're even worse than we are, if you can believe that. The federal district court there said the Second Amendment does not stop at your front door. The Second Amendment applies everywhere. And so, yes. And the Illinois State Rifle Association and the NRA have a case before the court in Benton, Illinois. And in that case, there's a brief being filed right now that says, according to a district judge, concealed carry does not stop at your front door, and the court is welcoming that brief, by the way. So we are going to make some progress here today. Each of you took some time and sacrificed some time to come down here, and I want to tell you that I think about our movement, and I think about all of you and all the sacrifices that you make, small, unnoticed, that go on each day. But those sacrifices, in the end, is going to overcome the anti-gun political machine in Chicago.
My name is Rady. I'm a 46-year-old woman now. I grew up in a middle-class neighborhood, in a middle-class home. My father was a Marine. I went to Catholic school and Baptist church. I have so much respect for God and the church and life itself that I can't even begin to tell you. Never. As a teenager at the age of 14, I was snatched off the street at gunpoint by about 5 gentlemen. I was taken to an abandoned building where they thought that they were going to rape me. I didn't want to be a victim of rape then, and I don't want to be one now. And they started tearing at my clothes, and I told them, I said, you don't have to do that. I can take my clothes off myself. And when they stepped back, I decided I was going to jump out of a second-story window and take whatever the Lord gave me, as opposed to letting these men violate me. I broke both of my legs and one of my thighs, and I had to learn how to re-walk. I didn't want to be a victim then, and I don't want to be a victim now. Last year, I was in my own home, and my cousin spent the night with me. We had a day planned of me cooking breakfast and my mom coming over. My cousin and I were going to go to the DeSable Museum and enjoy ourselves for the day. I had just went into my kitchen to put the food on when I heard glass breaking in my basement. I always keep my gun near. So I grabbed my gun and went to go see what was going on. My cousin said, would you like for me to call the police? I said, okay, but nature tells us to go see what's going on in our own homes, okay? So I grabbed my gun and I went to see what was going on. I confronted a 6'2", about 200 to 300 pound man, and I asked him what was he doing in my basement. At that time, he raised up a tire iron to me. I pulled out my gun. I said, don't move, because I don't know which way you're gonna go. He moved towards me, and I fired. I didn't know that there was anyone else in the basement. So out of another room came another gentleman running straight at me with a tire iron in his hand. And I asked him to stop, and he didn't, and I had to fire to protect myself. When I turned 21, I promised myself I would not be a victim. I went and got me a gun, and I went faithfully to the gun shop, and I learned how to shoot. Never do I want a bullet to hit anybody else except for my target that's intended. The police asked me why I didn't empty my gun into this man or either one of them, because as I told them, I had hit my target. He was no longer a threat to me. What I was waiting on, and as I told the police, I didn't know who else was going to run in that basement, and I needed to be prepared for them as well. I've prepared myself for this, and when I bought over there 17 years ago, my community was not like that. I've been in Chicago all my life, and I've seen the changes, and all I'm asking is for a fighting chance to be able to protect myself where I pay taxes, where I pay bills, and where I pay a mortgage. Thank you very much.